Hey guys, Trishan Midget here. So I got a pretty decent gun to do a video on today. So this is actually a personal gun of mine. It's for sale. I basically got this for working on a bunch of rentals. This was an old rental and it was broken. So I ended up keeping this for basically fixing. It was 4 rentals and the field owner's personal gun. So as you can see, it's obviously a G&G base gun. This is one of their longer barrel versions. I'm not sure what they call this as far as like a model number. It's just a basic M4 with a Daniel Defense looking rail system on it. So they build short versions of these, short barrel versions, and ones with shorter rails. This is like the longest one they come in. I think the barrel is probably 16 inches on this, so a little bit longer than a 14.5. So let's just start from the back and go to the front. It's got a standard LE stock on it, metal buffer tube, sling mount right there, that's metal. Plastic pistol grip, standard combat machine plastic body, plastic Mark 18 style rail system, a 16-inch outer barrel metal. It's got a metal flash hider on there. It's got a Leaper's red dot. It is red and green. And literally that's it for the externals. Extremely simple. As far as the internals, the hop-up, it's got a Classic Army is what I think it is. It's a metal standard hop-up. I did put a shim on the screw because the wheel was loose. So now it's not loose. It's very tight, so it's not going to unadjust itself. So that's just some simple mod that really improves the performance. It has a black python Mad Bull inner barrel, and it goes pretty much to the tip of the flash hider, as you can see there, and it is black. They're aluminum, aircraft alloy aluminum is what they market it as. It's like the version 2. It's got the Mad Bull logo on it and it says version 2. Black Python. I believe it's a 603 is the diameter of the barrel. It's fairly long too, so gonna get some pretty decent range out of it. The bucking is a G&G green and it is flat hopped. And again, it has that stock metal hop-up unit. So that's it for the hop-up unit. As far as range, probably 200 feet. I'd probably recommend somebody using 2.5s out of this. 2s work decently, but 2.5s are where it shines. You can hop up to .3s. I think it'll probably even hop 3.2s if you really wanted to with the stock setup that's in here. Not the stock setup, but the setup that you would receive if you bought this gun. As far as the gearbox internals, I did all the upgrades on them. It's actually a VFC base gearbox. So this gearbox is VFC and it was brand new. But it was broken. So I forget what was broken. I think it was the trigger trolley or something. I forget exactly. I'd worked on this a long time ago. I replaced whatever broke. But it's got like the VFC trigger contacts. It's got the VFC steel bushings. It's got ZCI 1301 gears with a sector chip. It's got the stock spring in here, VFC spring, probably a 110, 120. It's doing 370 with the .2. It's got the stock VFC piston head, which is aluminum. It's got a Angel Custom metal rack piston, polycarb metal rack piston. Alright, so I just looked it up. I've totally forgot what motor was in here. It's the Lonex A3. It's got the blue end bell, and they retail for $55, which is insane. I would never spend $55 on a Lonex motor. They're really not that good. But it's getting 30 rounds a second with the 13.1s in here with a pretty small 11.1. It's getting that decent rate of fire, and it's got really good trigger response. So I actually like the Lonex motors, but for the price, absolutely not. If you were to match them with like ZCI and SHS motors, like 35, and like the Element motors, you know, like that 35 price point, I would be buying them all day long at that. But 55 is ridiculous. That's insane. You can get for about 55, 60, you can have the ASG CNC Infinity motors, which is miles above the the Lonexes. So just thought I'd mention that. So it is a brand new motor as well. As far as the cylinder head, nozzle, tappet plate, that's all stock VFC. Stock VFC ball bearing spring guide, and I believe that's it. The gun does shoot pretty good. Again, 370 with .2s at 30 rounds a second. So overall, pretty balanced build, nothing crazy. Alright, so got the magazine loaded up with .2s, got the chrono set for .2s, 350, 349, 350, 351, 353, 351, 352. So very, very consistent. The FPS seem to have dropped, which is interesting. I do have it a little bit overhopped with 2s, so probably set for where 2.5s would be, but it was shooting 365, 370 at that before, so that's a little bit weird. My chrono's starting to die, so that might be part of it. So let's get a rate of fire reading. 30 rounds a second, 30.9, so literally right at 30 rounds a second. This is a Valken 1200 15 to 30C or so. Again, as far as trigger response, it is very, very quick. It precocks a lot. There is no MOSFET in here, but the VFC trigger contacts are very good. They're pretty resistant at arcing. So I have had this apart a few times, and there was no damage on them. So. So when you purchase this gun from me, it's going to include the mag, the battery, and the red dot for $220 shipped. It skipped a few times. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. But those 2 guns are for sale. I will have my Instagram in the description. Message me there. If you don't have an Instagram, don't even bother. But you can message me there if you're interested in the guns. The shipping will be like 2 or 3 days, maybe 4-day shipping. But and it'll be packed well, of course. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll see you on the next video.